Good evening, I'm Greer McGeary, and with me tonight is Emma Whiting, President of Seahorse Victoria, and we're going to be talking about relationships and being transgender. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you for having me.
What I've been trying to explore with this series of discussions is what was the impact on the relationship that you were having at the time you outed yourself?
There's sort of many relationship problems. A lot of it comes down, like when I first, every time I've had a relationship, I've always said something's not gelling here, something's not working, and I've always maintained that with everybody, and nobody believed me for a start. So it was kind of something wrong with me. Is there something going on? So yeah, I was always questioning. And
I believe you were previously married and some children.
Previously married, yes.
So it is that. How did that impact when you actually started to transition? How did that impact on that relationship?
It's a death sentence. It's over. It pretty much, relationships with people don't last this. Like when you transition as such, you're not going to, the idea is that everything is going to be rosy. Sometimes it will survive, but majority of times it won't. And I found in my case, there's too much going on and there's too much going to happen to you. So relationships, you have to take stock. You have to eventually stop. And they end naturally. And when they end, you start to think about, okay, what am I going to do now? Because yeah, you've got to wait till the whole transition's finished before you can even consider another relationship. I tried dating in between and stuff like that, but it didn't work, so yeah.
So what was sort of the emotional impact on you? Did you just feel devastated, or were you sort of...
Well, first up, it's very hard when relationships break down and stuff like that, but after a while you go, it's better now. So you have to be single for a while. So I got used to being single and I started enjoying it.
Once you were single and started to enjoy being yourself, was a relationship on your mind at all, or developing a new relationship on your mind at that time?
Yes, it was. But when I started to look at relationships, it's like, okay, who's going to accept who I am? I mean, everything. They'll accept some things, but no, I haven't found anyone yet that'll truly accept you for you, completely, everything. And for me, that's really important. They have to accept the past, the present, and the future. If they can't accept any of that, there's no point to it. And you have to be truthful, and there's so much, it's like navigating a minefield, and you try to think, oh, okay, what do I say? Do I tell them? Do I don't tell them? And I've tried all different approaches, so and none of it's worked.
Talking of approaches, so what were the types of things you put in place or did to look for a relationship?
I tried dating sites, tried meeting people in general, but yeah.
So say on the dating sites, what sort of information would you put down about yourself?
I tried everything. I put down the trans stuff, I put down this, I put down that. I tried every conceivable approach, and you either tell the truth, you tell everything, or you tell nothing. Either way, you get, it's like, and when you meet them and they go and they look at you and you go, okay, yeah, now you've met me, now what do you think? And they're like, oh, you come across quite regular. Oh, what does that mean? Am I like normal? Am I weird? What's going on? And they were always just, yeah, just...
So were you looking for a specific type of relationship? Were you, whether it was just only looking for a male companion, or were you open-minded?
Well, I was open-minded to a point. Like, naturally I'm attracted to males, and I prefer to be in male company, but also I was quite happy to date anyone really, but I've actually started to realise that I have to, you have to wait for someone to approach you, but I don't care who it is, long as they're willing to accept everything, and that's the most important thing for me.
So in having sort of, in essence, primarily looking for a male companion through dating sites, and as you said, you went out to live venues as they were. What did you find the most successful?
100% failure.
100%.
I know, there's nothing like successfully, okay, successful is going out for lunch or dinner. And that's happened a few times. I've actually had a few people that I've gone out with on occasions and they've gone, okay, cool, you know, let's do it again. But so, most of the time it just
do you feel as though that you've had relatively longish relationships, or they've been more the one-night stand style relationships?
Before transition, relationships had a course. They would run for a certain amount of time before I couldn't deal with it anymore, and then it would reset and I'd try again. And there was this constant, why can't relationships work? Because I'm not myself. That's the problem. Before that, I was, you know, being someone that the world wanted me to be, but that wasn't working with relationships at all.
So with the variety of relationships you've had since transitioning, have you sort of been able to find one that sort of progressed further than the others?
One, maybe. No, one, yeah, that's it. That lasted a little while, and then that fizzled out. Yeah.
So you're not giving up hope, though, are you?
No, I'm giving up hope, actually. It's got to the point when you put your hands in the air and you go, I'm done. That's it. I'm finished with this stuff. It's too hard. It's too hard for you to be, like, you don't want to have a pity party for it, but you have to accept that it's completely, like for me anyway, maybe for other people it's easy, but for me it's quite hard.
Having sort of gone very briefly through a relationship history, as it were, if you were in a position to, say, give advice to a younger person or to a younger self, what sort of key element?
Don't go out with anyone.
What would be a key element that you advise yourself?
If I was advising myself, my younger version, I'd tell her to stay away from relationships, end of story, period, for the start, and try and work yourself out first. Worry about the relationships later, because it confuses the issue. And the real issue was the trans stuff always is at the forefront before you have to deal with that first. You've got to get that done once you're comfortable as yourself.
Our time is just about up, so thank you for explaining some of what's happened with you and your relationship, and hopefully people will learn from that. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Greer McGeary, and with me tonight was Emma Whiting.